So before we start, I know a little bit about the timeline of stuff because I've read The Infinite and the Divine. And in it, I think the book takes hold like for a really, really long period of time, over 10,000 years. So I kind of know a little bit about 30K. I kind of heard a little bit about what happens before. But I do know that a lot of the Horus Heresy happens in 30K. And I don't know that much. So I want to see what happens, where we go, what we're doing, where we're going. And yeah, let me link the video for my mods to put up. Thank you again, Bricky, for letting us watch this video. And thank you for letting me upload the react on YouTube. I appreciate it. Let's go. I love it. This is great. I've already learned so much. And now we learn more. So I guess what I'm kind of curious about before we get into this video personally is like, so the emperor is just a guy on a chair for 10,000 years. And I know everyone's going to say, shut up, Matara. He is the god emperor. But like, he's just a husk on a throne after 30K. Like, getting fed 1,000 souls a day.
I mean,
you know? I'm just kind of curious, like what... I'm also curious in what timeline the Necrons actually gave up their... They're not their humanity, but their Necron-manity, I guess. When did that happen? And the rise of the Aldari and then the fall of the Aldari, when exactly is that timeline as well? Because that wasn't Infinite in the Divine.
so he's basically a battery, but a really cool battery.
Yeah, a battery that needs 1,000 souls of psychers a day, which is a lot. I don't even eat 1,000 momos a day. I'm nice. You know? 65
Wait,
million years
what
ago.
do you mean by that?
The
You eat
emperor-
momos?
I eat momos. I am fed with my
This
momos.
is news to me.
Yeah. What, you think they're so cute and so fluffy and I don't eat
I
them?
have no idea you actually ate the momos.
I mean, I don't eat and tell. I might. I don't bite and tell. They're my emergency rations in case. I'm just saying, even I don't go above 1,000 momos a day is insane. And he gets fed 1,000 psychers a day. Psychers are rare. Crazy stuff. All right, Zen.
Wait, have you
Yes?
eaten yet?
Why? You want me to take a bite out of you?
I mean,
I'm listening.
Free dinner.
What? I didn't understand what you said. Can you repeat that?
fuck no. Let's go.
Come- I genuinely didn't understand. Did anybody else understand what she said? Genuinely, because I didn't.
That's too bad.
I guess we'll never know. All right. I'm still streaming for you, right, Zenny?
Yep. You
Girl
sure
dinner.
are.
In darkness of the 41st millennium
dinner.
exists the Empire of Man, a backwards carcass of an empire comprised of many devoted
I like his
forces,
change.
gigantic robot knights, religious machine cultists, and incredibly heavily armored women, most likely
Oh.
with sweltering abs.
Why does she have a fleur
and
de
one
lis
must know
on her
what those
breasts?
abs taste like.
Okay. I'm sorry, Zen. We're watching this ad. It's the least we can do. This guy's good at advertising. I need to hire him to make an ad for me.
Fair enough.
My Gamer Sups flavor is here. Sweet six-pack.
He sure
has
knows how to market.
arrived. A delicious
He
and
knows how to market.
refreshing cherry
That's all I gotta
pineapple
say.
blend. Play the sound.
Good for you.
Yes, my Bricky's official Gamer Subs flavor is here. Sweet six-pack, not only in regular energy mode, but also in caffeine-free.
Oh, look
The
at his
cherry
shirt, it's
pineapple
just a little
flavor is not
board.
the kind of flavor that just
I
smacks
love
you
that
in
shirt.
the face. It is light, it is refreshing, and it's one of those things where you sip it and you go, not bad. And next thing you know, you are having your fourth refill the
I don't know if
same
not
day.
bad
and
is
it is
what I
available
want out of
now.
my drink,
Link
but
in the
hey.
description. Use code Bricky for 10% off your entire order. Not just for this, but for everything you buy.
Bricky,
and
I'm gonna hire
not
you to make
dumb.
an ad for
If
me.
you buy any of these tubs, regular
I will hire
caffeine-free of
him.
my sweet six-pack flavor, you will get a Muscle Girl 32-ounce
Oh my
shaker
God.
completely for free.
I
There
only
are
can read-
only a couple thousand of those shakers, so get it while supplies lasts. I cannot believe we finally have this, but I told everyone, like, once you find out the flavor, you'll be like, yeah, that tracks, and damn straight does it track. Sweet six-pack available now. Code Bricky, link in the description.
Zen, what'd you have for dinner?
The
never mind.
age of
had
knowledge
some
and
soup.
enlightenment
Some soup.
has
Me
ended.
Fine.
too. Oh
The
my God.
age of darkness
It's like we're in love and
has
living
begun.
together.
Just some beef stew.
Oh my God.
Roughly 60 million years ago, there existed aliens.
Oh my
And
God.
these aliens lived short,
me.
painful lives. They
Okay.
belonged to
Not like me.
radiation-stricken
Holy shit.
worlds and often died of various cancers before the age
no,
of 30. These aliens,
No,
the
I'm definitely
Necron tier,
way older.
looked up to the stars
But these
and
are my
found
guys.
extreme
These are my little
beings
guys.
of real power. Beings with the ability to create life. The old ones of the galaxy. They asked these old ones for help. Please cure us of our ailments. To which the old ones said, piss off. So the Necron tier gathered
Sounds
together
about right.
and did the sensible thing. They declared war upon
Yeah,
these old
it seems
beings
about
and were
right.
promptly beaten into the dirt back to their short, painful lives. In the world of Warhammer, there is a hell. This
I love my little
hell is
Necron.
not like you and I know it. It's more of an afterlife, a place where dead souls end up. This place has many names: the Empyrean, the Sea of Souls, the Immaterium, and the Ether. But mostly, we just call it the Warp. While you and I know of hell as a place of horrors
Oh.
and punishment,
But they
the Warp
traveled through the warp.
isn't really that. Not in the beginning. It's energy, but the
Yeah.
kind of energy formed from thought and soul.
So their
Psychic
hell
energy,
is more
where the
like
dead
a
souls of people end up in a place that is
void.
impossible to understand.
Interesting.
No laws of reality exist. Like, time is merely a
Interesting.
suggestion, and it is not something that can be braved easily. The warp would be like sailing the ocean in a pirate movie. To jump from your ship would be certain death. To stay in the sea for too
Yeah,
long
I know the
on
emperor
your
has
boat
to stay on the throne.
could
Sorry,
drive
everybody,
a
I'm
man
eating
mad.
again.
And there are many
Because he
dangerous
helps light
things
the
lurking
warp.
in those depths. Yet, the sea is not evil. It simply is. Mostly. There are more malevolent beings
Ooh.
in those waters.
This is why in,
areas that you do not
Mechanicus,
sail towards.
we can't get
This would be known
reinforcements.
as the realm of chaos.
'Cause the warp is
realm of
down,
chaos
so we
exists
can't
in
get
the warp as a
reinforcements
special
in
area
Mechanicus.
led by 3 chaos gods. Korn, the god of combat,
Oh, there he is,
murder,
Korn.
and slaughter, with a pile of skulls taken in his name. Tzeentch, god of change,
There's motherfucking
mystery,
Korn.
and
I
deceit.
always forget
a
about
confusing
Korn.
paradox of lies, schemes, and sorceries.
Tzeentch is
and
cool.
Nurgle,
Nurgle is
god
the
of
best.
rot,
Slaanesh is
pestilence,
awesome.
and Genshin Impact.
you know.
All things rot in the end.
I
And
always forget
Grandfather
about
Nurgle
Korn.
is waiting
Always.
for you with open arms. These gods ruled their respective realm in the warp, sending their many followers against each other in the great game to be the most powerful of all
yeah, she's
the
not
gods.
born yet. That's
so
right.
the warp exists. Hell is real,
Woohoo!
parallel to our galaxy, with the realm of chaos and its gods fighting for control. But There
What's
are
everyone's
also
favorite chaos
gods
god in
of
chat, by the
real
way?
space, gods of the
YouTube
normal
comments.
world too. They're called Catan, and
Sorry,
they
I'm learning how to
eat
use
stars.
You think God stays in heaven because he
This
too
is the
lives
play
in
they
the
talk
world
about,
he's
right?
created?
A war in
These
heaven.
star gods
They talked about this
saw
in
the plight
Infinite and the
of our
Divine.
poor Necron tier and how the old ones cast them aside and said, you know what? You guys want immortality? Oh,
I can't
we
believe
will
you all
make
love
it happen.
porn.
We are the gods of the tangible,
Come on,
of
you
real
guys.
space. We can give you a cure. So then they ate all their souls
Yeah.
and turned them into robotic automaton, feasting on their souls and leaving a hollow shell of an intelligence
Yeah.
left that is technically immortal. With the power of an entire species' souls, they turned their new robotic slaves on the old ones and hunted them to extinction. The Necron tier, now the soulless, undying Necrons, got their wish at the price of their souls. But we can count the number of kind gods on an amputated hand. With time, the selfish star gods turned on each other, fighting one another for more chances at glory and power. With this, the leader of the Necrons, Zarek,
Necrons.
the Silent King, the
I love
man
them
who doomed his species when
so
he
much.
accepted this deal.
Those guys are
waited,
fucking cool as
planned,
fuck.
They're
bided
so
his
cool.
time until he seized the perfect moment and turned his legions of
I
undead
pre-ordered
citizens
the
against the
Oricon
star gods.
model.
Gods cannot be killed, but they can be broken. So Zarek broke the star gods into thousands of pieces and locked them away in vaults, taking their free will away as they did to them, and sealed them away as basically Pokemon to be used as weapons in the future.
Who's that Pokemon?
It's Pikachu!
It's the Void Dragon.
Zarek then, with his perfect memory, exiled himself for his sins, flying out to the darkness between galaxies to atone for what he had done. This entire situation, the genocide of the Old Ones and the rebellion of Zarek, will go down in history as the War in Heaven.
Yeah,
It
they
is the
talked
most
about this
brutal
in
war
Infinite
the
and the
galaxy
Divine.
has ever seen and ever will see. This was a
Hell
conflict
yeah.
that
Here
took
we
an
go.
entire galaxy-spanning species
Hell
and pitted
yes.
them against gods that ate stars.
This
The
is why I
Necrons,
love the
rather
Necron.
crippled from, you know, the war in heaven, decided
George
to
civilization
go to sleep
fight
in
gods.
gigantic tomb worlds on various planets until the upstart species of the galaxy died out. And so turns out when you have a war that lasts tens, hundreds of thousands of years and involves the genociding of multiple species,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
old
yeah.
ones of the galaxy, and the consumption of souls from an entire race, the warp gets a little wacky.
No way.
If you had a kiddie pool and it was nice and calm, Korn is over there splashing about, so you don't really go in that direction. Nurgle has explosive diarrhea, so you don't really go in
I
that
love you,
direction
Nurgle.
either. But you can still kind of get in the pool. The pool's still fine. Turns out when you add a couple trillion souls to that kiddie pool, it'll make the waves a little more turbulent. And turns out a lot of them like to pick a side, Nurgle, Tzeentch, or Korn. So the once calmer warp, the once relaxing kiddie pool has now been bloated. A million years of war will certainly make Korn, god of murder and slaughter, more powerful. A million years of war will probably make Tzeentch, god of deception and change, a little more powerful. And good God, a million years of war will make Nurgle, god of decay, oh, just the
pestilence.
tiniest bit more powerful.
And rot.
Now entering that kiddie pool
And
is
cool.
no longer fun, it's
Father.
dangerous. The warp is now a problem. Hell is resembling hell a lot closer to what we imagined it
Well-
originally. The Sea of Souls and the Realm of Chaos are now intertwined.
Now
Have they
so
tried
who else to brave
not
the
killing
galaxy
people?
than a species that won't need to deal with that?
Have they tried going to heaven? The Rise of the Eldar. Okay. So this I know a
Eldar
bit.
are space elves. They have a lot of the traits that you probably think of when you think of elves. Tall, slender, pointy ears, bit more androgynous
The
looking, no matter what
Necron are
DeviantArt
so
will tell you,
cool,
and a bit
Zen.
stronger
They
on
saw
the
that these guys were going to rise up.
emotional
So they
side.
basically
The
went
old
to
ones,
sleep
as I
until these
mentioned,
guys
could
got
create
destroyed.
life. And when they were
They're
getting,
like,
you know,
we're gonna nap till you
absolutely
guys are
bodied
destroyed.
by the Catan and the Necrons, they made some
How
new races to
punk
try to help
rock.
them. One of them was
Taking
the
a nap.
Eldar. It didn't save them, but they're here now anyway. Oh, and also the orcs, but they're busy right now.
It's the little mushroom boys.
Let's fucking go.
The Eldar are a particularly psychically powerful race, so they were really adept at being able to handle the new turbulent warp of chaos and good at killing Necrons, hence
Hell
why
yeah.
they went to sleep. Being psychically gifted is
Hey Zen, have you
Being a wizard.
done your Christmas shopping?
sleep. Being psychically gifted is basically like being a wizard, but you get your wizard
Pretty much
powers
why?
from hell.
Oh.
This is
What's up?
called being
Because it was
a
an ad.
psychic. And basically, if you want to do cool wizard shit like lightning from your hands or reading someone's mind, you can do that, but you siphon the
always on
energy
top
to
of
do
that.
that from the warp. Luckily,
She's
the
always on
Eldar are
top.
very good at handling this without too many negative effects because, you know, summoning power from the Sea of
Favorite
Souls
position.
with the new Chaos friends can be a bit of an issue. But Eldar are pretty good at it. And you see what's really
You are
cool
really on top of
and
it.
Is there
also awful
something you
about
want?
Warhammer is that most
From you?
developed species
Yes. Can I have
Yeah.
$31 gifted subs for Christmas?
Do you say 31 gifted subs?
Yeah, for Christmas.
That's oddly specific.
I was afraid if I named a number too big, you'd say no. But I wanted to name a number big enough.
So you stopped at 31?
Yeah, 32 felt kind of selfish. It felt like asking for a lot. Oh, I said for Christmas. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. It doesn't count, Zen. Sorry. Thank you for your generosity, but it doesn't count.
I know. I just wanted to do that.
Ah, you little shithead. Thank you. Honestly, I was first going to ask for $10,000, but I'm like, I know you'll say no. So I had to lowball it. I love you. Not only is Zen volunteering her time to react with me, I'm also giving her shit and making her give me
You're going
presents.
to have to ask a lot of times. You're going to have to say please a lot of times for that, holy.
I love you. Thanks, Zen. That really made me laugh. Yeah, one sub for each day in December, but given on
course.
the 25th of December. I love you. I'm going to spoil you next time you stream too. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to
Love
come
you too.
annoy you. All right, let's...
travel
Thanks,
long,
Zen,
faster
for
than
the
light
50
distances
gifted.
by going through that warp. They create a tear in
I got
reality
you.
to
love you.
unreality and move through it. Faster than light travel? Cringe. We go through hell itself to deliver
is
your
my sugar
packages.
mommy.
For those of you who play Minecraft, you know how the nether is like a pocket dimension? So moving 10 spaces in the
I
nether
always
is
got
actually
you.
moving something
I know
like
you do.
1,000
You really
in
do.
the real world. That's basically what warp travel is. Just much like
And
in
I
the
hope you
nether,
know I got
there
you
are a
too.
lot of things that want to kill you. The Eldar found a way to do so in between realities. Not regular reality,
For
not the
silence
warp,
is a form of
something else.
agreement.
A purgatory of sorts, a fabricated psychic realm that
She's
allowed
quiet
them
because
to
she
travel
knows.
without
Stuck with
fearing
me to
the
the end of
negative
time.
effects of the warp. The Eldar were the perfect fit for the new
Hell yeah.
galaxy, and they took it with open arms and pointy ears. The empire of the Eldar spread everywhere, and it spread all the way until now, the 21st century. That's right, while you were watching NPC streams on TikTok, the space elves were
Ah, that's
ruling
the
the
meme you showed
galaxy,
me.
and they did
bullet.
so
Yo,
for quite
let's
a
go.
long period of time.
I need more bullets.
So this
The
is
21st
in...
century came
Infinite
and
and
went.
the Divine.
Humanity grew and grew,
Where humanity
all under the nose of their
settles
elf
on top of
overlords. At this
Aldari
time,
ruins.
humans advanced, your classic sci-fi style way. We began to expand, colonize our solar system, terraformed our planets, created new and more powerful machines and
Hell yeah.
starships. The age of Terra, also known as Earth, but we call it Terra here, was here, and existed between the 21st century all the way until the 15th millennia. Not much is known about this time, not much needs to be known. Humanity grew up, sought the stars. It's classic. Then came the years between 15,000 and
You missed that the
25,000.
old ones made the web wave, not the
age of
Eldar.
technology,
Oh, where
or
did
to
you
some,
find that?
The dark age of technology. This is when humanity reached a new apex of technological understanding. When
Oh,
you think
Zen,
of
don't listen.
sci-fi, there's a lot
He
of
said
things you can
apex.
think of.
Don't
Star
listen.
Trek, maybe Star Wars style. You can go cyberpunk
playing.
dystopian. The age of technology
My
was
ears are
deep
open.
sci-fi, like a scientific prowess that fringed on magic. This is also when the first ever psychers began showing up in humanity. Individuals with the genetic mutation to be able to access the warp, and then because of that, travel through it. Humanity was no longer constricted to their early ways of travel. With warp travel, they could go anywhere in the galaxy. They equipped ships with gigantic AI machines, with everything you would ever need to know about mankind.
So you're
and
saying we're
sent
close.
them out on colony ships to expand their influence
To finding our
across
own
the
Tyranids
galaxy.
in the-
And
in the
this was
space.
truly the golden age of humanity. And with every golden age,
Uh-oh.
there is a fall. While the new human upstarts of the galaxy were reaching new levels of technology and prowess, the Eldar were engaging in
Debauchery.
debauchery! Debauchery! What happens when a species has everything? You can produce unlimited food out of nothing. Your need for farmers and workers, gone. You have dominated the
Debauchery.
stars and have created a fast travel
The
system
fall
that
of
doesn't
the
rely on the
Eldar.
dangers of the warp.
Dun, dun,
You have
dun.
nothing else to do. You have no struggles, no problems, and feel as if there is nowhere else to go. Well, you begin to experiment. The Eldar started harmless enough. You know, you take a serious interest in your species' culture, your arts, paintings, poems, plays. These are Eldar, elves, remember? Their emotions are heightened, more powerful than us humans. So your plays get louder. They start to push on the limits of your hearing ability. Your music becomes different, more deranged. It pushes the
Ooh.
boundaries of what is art. The visual spectacle of art becomes more bizarre, more delusional, more eccentric.
So they became
and let's not forget
VTubers?
a very important sense. Touch. Pornography is one thing.
I mean,
Brothels is another. What if they all mixed? What if your brothels were part of your art and music? And what if those became more deranged? The boundaries of debauchery were not just met, but shattered. Next thing you know, murder is commonplace and often mixed with the art, music, and sex. Pain is a common byproduct of entertainment. Whatever
Hey,
sensation you can
you know
have
what?
must be increased.
It's like salt
must
in your
be
food,
enhanced,
right? A
must
little
be
bit of pain,
taken
a little bit of
to
pleasure.
the limits. The Eldar Empire
seasoning.
slipped
Oh,
into
this
a
is where
nightmarish
things get
realm
more
of
fucked up.
debauchery and
Yeah.
excess, with the worst
The
of it
birth
taking
of
place in a
Slanesh.
city in the webway, a black market for these kinds of heinous acts known as Kamara. Some Eldar saw the writing on the wall, saw what was happening to their species and how far they had slipped. So they boarded continent-sized starships called craft worlds and left their empire, seeking a more enlightened, calmer existence among their peers. Some, those in Kamara, pushed it to even greater heights, relishing the pain and torment they inflicted on those around them. All during this, the warp, the yin to the yang of the world, was fed by these emotions, by the psychic power of the Eldar, by the souls taken in these depraved acts on a galactic
I wonder how long it took him to
scale.
script and
just
make
like
this
that,
video.
Eldar ended. Slanesh, the fourth chaos god, was birthed
not me
into
accidentally
existence
showing a nipple
and
on stream.
consumed the souls of 90% of the Eldar population. Those that fled were spared the worst
I'm
of it,
sure
and
it's
those
fine.
in the
Yeah,
webway
yeah,
and Kamara were able to stave off the
No
pull of
worries.
Slanesh
Yeah.
so long as they continued to commit horrid acts.
Wait, there was a
of
penis
torture
too?
and
I missed
violence.
that.
But for the majority of the Eldar,
I'm too pure for
their
that.
empire died with Slanesh's birth.
That's
The
fine.
new fourth chaos god, she who thirsts, the god
Mother.
of
As
long as
unspeakable
it's not the
excess
focus.
of pleasure,
Yeah, I
pain,
know.
hedonism, and perfection.
I'm just
had
being a little
been
shithead.
born. With the fall of the Eldar Empire came the ruin of humanity. Slanesh's birth sent storms in the warp across the galaxy, making travel between star systems impossible. Coupled with a huge
So
classic
this is
AI rebellion,
where
the
we are
staple in these
in
sci-fi
Mechanicus,
settings,
basically.
humanity began to suffer the age of
Because the
strife.
warp is
Now,
closed.
planets that relied on intergalactic travel were completely cut
Oh,
off.
okay. My
Long-range
bad.
messages normally sent through the warp were snuffed out. If you were a planet
Oh, right, this is
that
still
was
early.
great at mining stuff but couldn't get food, well, You know that movie about the rugby players in the mountains? Oh, and because of these insane warp storms and
So we're like about
fluctuations,
25,000,
psychers began
right?
to
We're
appear
like
among the human population
WH
a bit
25K
more often.
here.
Now, this initially had them hunted down as witches, because that's
Around
pretty
20K.
common in
Okay.
this setting, but some deemed it right to
About
protect them.
28K.
Unfortunately for those people, psychers, because they open a gateway
Cast
to
your
the
bets.
warp, don't really know how to use their powers well, and they kind of attract demons
Oh,
who then
no.
force their way through the psyker as a conduit of sorts
Oh,
and begin to
no.
slaughter the population of
Not
your
the
planet.
sexy
The Age
demons
of
coming
Strife
in.
was a catastrophic period of time for humanity and set back their progress tenfold over the not one, not two, but 5,000 year period. During this time, the age of humanity that we know began to form. Worlds equipped with large mechs for agriculture began to equip them with weapons to defend from alien and demonic
Ooh.
invaders. Over 5,000 years, this became a custom and tradition, dubbing them as night worlds,
next
a feudal
5,000
society
years.
of
Okay.
honor-bound knights in gigantic robots that uphold the chivalric code to defend their worlds and honor. A group of individuals on Mars, after radioactively bombing their planet to become inhospitable to human life, ran their entire lives underground on the few life support systems keeping them alive. Those technicians who could work on the machines and keep them operational were revered, and over 5,000 years went from skilled members of
Do
society
these guys look
to
familiar?
full-blown priests.
Yeah!
The cult mechanicus,
tech
or tech
priests.
priests of Mars,
My love.
formed
They
in the
do.
ashes of the Red Planet with a religious fervor and doctrine on the cult
Oh, boy.
of the machine.
I can't wait for more
And
Mechanicus
Earth,
on Sunday.
Terra, techno-barbarian
I love it.
tribes waged war across
The
the
one that
planet
would
in a
literally
Mad
fuck a
Max
toaster.
style of blood and gore, until finally, a mysterious
you're not
man
wrong.
who lived in the shadows of Terra for millennia finally revealed himself to the populace. His name was the Emperor. He deemed himself the Emperor
A millennia is a
mankind.
1,000
Where did he
years.
come from? I
So
don't
he
know.
just
Why
lived
is he 10
there
feet tall
for
and the most
1,000
powerful
years?
psyker of all of mankind? I don't know.
Big
Why is he
E.
basically immortal? I don't know. Where'd Cotton
he
Eye
looks-
Joe go? Who knows? But he's
He looked
here.
very
and he
girly
isn't
pop in that
happy with
previous
all of
one.
you ripping up Terra. So he
He was
began
doing
the
the
Unification Wars, where
Zoolander
he
face.
and a very early version of the famous Space Marines, the Thunder Warriors, reunited Terra under a single
So you're telling
banner.
me this 10-foot man was
blood.
just hold
Then
on, I'm
after
sorry, I
taking-
gotta pause for a second. You're telling me this 10-foot man just hid. Just, he just hid around with that. He's not that big. I think he's pretty big. Listen, 10 feet tall, with that blue steel face, everything. He wasn't always that big. Okay. You're telling me he got bigger. Hey, every man's dream.
taking over Earth.
He's
he
really
reunited the Thunder
living the
Warriors
dream here.
into the fucking dirt. This is where we get the Imperium of Man, also known as the Imperium. The new faction headed by the Emperor of Mankind, with a treaty signed with the cult Mechanicus on Mars to spread out and reunite
Yes.
humanity after the
So this
catastrophic
I know a
age
bit
of
about.
strife. But first, the Emperor is going to need some smaller versions of
Some
himself.
children.
20 of them.
Wait. Sorry, one more second.
The Emperor is going
The one on the
Here we
left is
go.
the blood, is the ninth, I don't know if you can see him on the stream, is the ninth Legion one. The one in the
Yeah.
middle is that's the wolf one, right?
Yes.
That's the wolf one. And then the one on the right, that's the one that everybody said he lives, right? Vulcan lives. There we go. Ah, cool. I'm already starting to recognize them based off like the middle is the lion. Oh, I thought it was the wolf. Oh, shit. My bad. It looked like a wolf. I was wrong. Dun, dun, dun.
going to need some
The lion
smaller
also
versions
lives
of
in
It
Matara.
does look like a
20
wolf to
of
me
them.
too.
Doesn't it?
18 of them, I meant. Gene-crafted stuff.
Wait.
20 of them. 18 of them,
I see.
I meant. Gene-crafted sons of the strongest human to ever live. All of them
I wanna
possess
know about the other
unparalleled
two.
strategic
Okay, that's the
power,
lion, right.
intelligence, formidable strength and size. A real powerful force to unite humanity and stop the chaos of the current
I want to
galaxy.
know about
Speaking
2
of
and
chaos,
11.
you ever seen that image of that guy? It's like throwing the baby like a basketball. It's not what
Stop!
happens.
I wanna
The Chaos
know.
Gods intervened and
Oh my
grabbed
God.
the
When does he
18
look like that?
Primarch gestation pods and yeeted them across the galaxy at a whim, everywhere they could possibly go. A galactic game of keep away. So the Emperor had to get them back. So begins the Great Crusade.
Okay.
A crusade across the stars to reunite not just humanity, but the Emperor with his fallen sons. The first to be found was Horus.
Of course.
One of the
always find the worst
strongest and
ones.
most noble sons. The Emperor carried with him a legion of newly crafted warriors with genetic material made from their Primarch father. These are the newly made Space Marines. For Horus, his were the Luna Wolves. And as the Emperor continued on his great crusade, he found more and more of his sons, reuniting them with their individual Space Marine legions. Leman Russ, the cunning hunter with the Space Wolves. Rogel Dorm, the Phalanx with the Imperial
The
Fists.
immovable one.
Angron, the Barbarian,
angry one.
the very angry with his World
Hey, you
Eaters.
did good. You
Fulgrim,
remember them.
the Perfect,
That was the third
with
one.
his Emperor's children. And Jagatai Khan,
The
the
fifth
Swift,
one.
the Stoic, and his white scars.
yeah.
Those were just some of the 18.
Aw.
And one by one, his lost Primarch sons were returned to him, and their Space Marine legions returned to them. The Great Crusade saw humanity once again reconquer the stars, returning worlds of humanity back to the Imperium and killing any and all who stood against their noble crusade. But in the years of the 31st millennia, treachery would break this all apart.
Uh-oh.
We don't know what we did.
So Horus Heresy
the
was
Emperor's
30K.
most beloved and
pretty
favored
much.
sons, named War Master
And
for
all
the
the books are
Crusade,
gonna be about
succumbed
30K.
to the power of chaos
Cool.
and daddy issues. All because of
Once
that
we're further in
bastard
the book
Erebus.
club,
Yo, fuck Erebus.
we're gonna add some of
Slowly,
these books in
Horus
there.
would become corrupted, turning the Emperor's
Oh,
sons
no.
against him. This
Who could
begins
have
the most
predicted
pivotal moment
this?
in our story, and the one that has like 50 books written about it, the Horus Heresy. 9 of the 18 Primarchs turned against the Emperor, and the following years were a bloody
I know
battle
about
for
that
the
one or
throne
heard about
of
this.
Terra. The Emperor originally was working on a special webway project, just like the Eldar, to make faster-than-light travel significantly easier and safer. Really improve humanity to allow them to conquer the stars without the risk of the warp. Well, this big red idiot named Magnus kind of blew a hole into that.
Is there any
literally and
theories of, like,
figuratively.
the
So
Emperor
Big
being
E
a
over there
god?
is stuck on
Like
a
another
gigantic
chaos god
golden
too?
throne, holding back
Just,
the
you know,
oncoming rush
quote-unquote
of
good
demons
chaos
and
god.
powering the Astronomicon.
'Cause why is he so
Basically a
strong
big
and why is he,
North
like,
Star
you
for
know,
people who are sailing
doing
in
all
the
that
warp
for
to
what?
help them navigate. The Horus Heresy saw many loyalist and traitor legions pitted against each other in a bloody war until it reached Terra itself. Horus, unable to break
the
through
latest
the
books,
lines
there are
and
hints.
with
Makes
time
sense.
running out, made a gambit.
'Cause there's no
and
way he's
opened
that
his
strong
ship up
otherwise.
to be boarded. The Emperor took this challenge, quickly allowing someone else to take control of the throne as he teleported his way onto Horus's flagship, the Vengeful Spirit. The Emperor, unable to truly kill his most beloved son, changed his mind
It is
right
alluded
quick
he'll become one when he
Horus
fully
strangled
dies.
the life out of his other son, Sanguinius.
No!
I'm sure you've seen this image at some point. The Emperor then said,
Look
"I'm
at
not
that.
gonna
Look at this
sugarcoat it,"
face.
and
He's blue
proceeded to
stealing.
psychically blast Horus into complete oblivion, killing not only his body, but also his soul. Horribly wounded from this duel, the Emperor is returned to the
Fuck
Golden
yeah.
Throne in order to keep the demons at bay and power the Astronomicon, because without it, humanity would be flying blind. There he sits, slowly dying from his wounds and the strain of powering the Golden Throne. The only thing keeping him alive is feeding
God,
upon
this
the souls
image,
of
I love it.
1,000
Even in
psychers
death,
every single day. This was 10,000 years ago. We are now
Crazy that that's
in the
what he looks like
41st
now. Oh my
millennium,
God.
Modern day. Warhammer 40,000.
Yay!
The Emperor remains on his throne. The Imperium is a rotting carcass of an empire, a fascist, xenophobic cult that worships the Emperor as a deity despite him never wanting to be seen as a god. Over the span
Well,
of 1
can't choose
million
how people
worlds,
perceive you.
the ecclesiarchy, the church of the Emperor is spread throughout. Inquisitors with unparalleled power root out any sign of heresy or lack of devotion
play the
to their
Inquisitor game
god
as well.
Emperor. The other
It's like a
half of the
Diablo-esque.
traitor legions move about as Chaos Space Marines, raiding and pillaging the Imperium, while the loyalist half does their best
We're
to
going to
keep the
place
Empire
Space
alive.
Marines 2
All
together.
throughout
Yeah,
this, they
I
must
wanna
endure
play.
orc invasions, Eldar trickery, the reawakening of the Necron race, and the Great Devourer, the newest tyrannid threat from the darkness between galaxies that has arrived to
Deep
feast on their
Stealers.
worlds.
Wow. They're here.
The theme of Warhammer 40,000 is regression and intolerance.
They're
Every
here.
major faction in Warhammer has had an empire that spanned the galaxy only to be crushed back to a hollow shell of what they once were due to their own failings.
And
Culture,
hubris.
the arts, personal freedom, religious tolerance, the simple possibility that alien life might not want to kill us is considered heretical and is often
Heretics.
met with a pistol to the head. There is no time for these things. All there is time for is worship of the God Emperor and a
worship
million
of,
wars
like,
to be
Xenos.
fought. To be a
Yeah.
human in the 41st millennia is 99% of the time to live a horrible existence. To
Worship
be
the
one
bug.
of trillions of other
Woohoo.
humans across a million worlds
Yes.
throughout the galaxy. A galaxy where AI is outlawed, so humans are repurposed and lobotomized to become slaves. A place where lack of devotion is met
Ooh.
with death. And if you even have devotion, there is a good chance the threats to the galaxy, chaos, and aliens will kill you anyway. Warhammer is a world where you revel in being bad. There are protagonists.
good to be
there
bad.
are antagonists, but every faction is some shade of evil. Because playing the bad guys is always more fun.
Agreed.
And my friend, you have a selection. So pick up that las gun, soldier. You and the other 3 million men and women in this single deployment on this single world in this single battle will now show them the might of the God Emperor. That weapon in your hands has killed 99% of the alien populations in this galaxy. Unfortunately for you, soldier, you're fighting the final 1%. May the Emperor be with us. Glory
No, we
to
don't
the
even know
first
how many
man to
aliens are
die.
out there.
For
Come
in
on.
the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.
Yay! Fun.
Those motherfuckers who want to be in that world too.
Those what? Nice.
There are people who actually want to be in that world too.
Really? Oh, sorry.
You're
Do
out
they?
of your fucking mind.
Who? Me? Who?
No, just people in general.
Oh, the people who want to be in 40K. Sorry, I misunderstood. Before I wrap this up, thank you again, Bricky, for letting us react.
Yeah.
I want to talk about it. So, between 30K and 40K, there's a huge blimp, right? It feels like they went so far into Horus Heresy. Horus Heresy has so many books. There's so much stuff happening, right? And then it's just like, we're in 40K now. Hee hee. So what the hell does happen in the 10,000 years? You know? Between 30 and 40K is all
Lots
the
of
books
war
and all the
lots
lore.
of death.
Yeah.
Lots of fucking war.
I thought you... So, how long does the Horus Heresy last? If the Horus Heresy starts at 30K, does it end at like 31K? Does it end fast? Because only about 100 years. So basically at 30K, it's just, that's it. 9 years. Oh. That's it. And then the husk of the Emperor is on the throne, and that's it. Interesting. It is curious.
And then all the cults and everything start developing.
Right? Because there's no god emperor to protect them. Mm. I do wonder at this time, like, when did the Tao Empire start forming? I know the Tyranids came a little bit later as like the space. So the Tao Empire started about 35K, 39, 38. Okay, very recently. The Tyranids also came fairly recently. Hmm. When did stuff like the Harlequin start forming? I'm guessing after the fall of the Eldari, so like after 35K, between 35 to 40K, Harlequin clowns and things like that.
Honestly, humanity is just completely fucked.
Yeah, everybody is.
In Warhammer 40k, humanity is completely fucked. Mostly just humanity.
Mm. The Tau appear in late 30K as Stone Age aliens. They become a threat after their planet was knocked by a warp storm and was spat back out with all their tech in 40K. How did their tech go from Stone Age to 40K? Or do you mean they just got eaten so they had no natural threats and they evolved, basically? The Tau
Sorry,
are the
I
youngest
take
race.
it back.
It's okay.
Everybody is fucked except the orcs.
Yeah. Because they're just little sentient mushrooms, right?
Literally.
Okay, the Harlequins were the actors before the fall. Okay. So now that we're in 40K, are the Necrons starting to awaken? Or are they only starting to awaken in Mechanicus because we are on the planet awakening the tombs to rob them? Or are they kind of starting to wake up as little pockets of stuff? Or is it just like in a Warhammer? Is it just like, oh, because we're playing the game and we're kind of waking them up? They're starting to awaken all over slowly. Yeah, Mechanicus is in 40K. Yeah, that's why I'm asking. They sense life spreading in the galaxy. Okay. They want you off their lawn. Get off me lawn.
I mean, that's a fair enough thing.
Yeah. Basically, the game that I'm playing, Zen, on Sundays, it's you're actually like my main character. I'm not even kidding. You're the one that like gets in, smashes everybody in the face, gets out. While the girls are shooting, you're coming close, you're punching everybody in the face, stealing all the treasure. I played muck with you. I know what you're
I'm
like.
here to serve you.
Yeah, you are.
And kick ass.
You are. I am your emperor. 50K is around the time they're scheduled to awaken. I see. Can I ask why everybody likes Korn? Genuinely. He seems like the most boring of the gods. But maybe he's boring to
Fucking.
me. I have to remember that, yeah, he's simple. And,
Horton is cool.
people like the simple.
Blood for the blood god.
I guess that does make him so cool because I had no idea that meme came from Warhammer until like a year ago. And it's crazy because that meme's been everywhere. So you're telling me that a good meme makes you like a boring man? I see. So the meme makes the man, is what you're saying. He's simplistic. He just wants to eat a whole world. Memes are the DNA of the soul. You are right. Zen, do you have any questions about the timeline? While we have these experts in the chat with us?
Honestly, everything was pretty explained there pretty well.
Yeah. Trying to think what I'm confused about.
Was very happy without Ricky. Summarized everything.
Right? I just wonder how long it took him to make these videos, because that definitely took so much love, care, labor, memes. Oh my God. I'm thinking if I have any more questions currently. Because a lot of my questions are about like Sisters of Battle, the Grey Knights, like you say, but that's just kind of divisions of humans. And then other races will also have like divisions in their ranks and kind of different It's such a vast world. Holy cow. I want to know more about the Primarchs too. I want to know more about their battle. And why did he throw them across the galaxy? That's what I actually, maybe I skipped through that part in the lore video. Why did he throw his 18 children across the galaxy? Who threw them? Or did he throw them across the galaxy? Oh, that was the Chaos Gods. Okay, I missed that part. I was like, why are they spread across the galaxy? Okay, so the Chaos Gods did it probably because he was growing in power. Okay, cool. I talked over that part. Listen, buddy pal, bucko, friendo. I
She's
know.
having lots of fun.
No, it's because when you watch this video and you've seen it
Nothing
5
wrong with
times,
that.
you get it. It's my first time. There's a chance that even if I'm quiet and I listen and I read the subtitles, I'll still miss it because it's my first time absorbing a lot of information. So sometimes, like, I was reading the subtitles, buddy. Like, it's hard. It's a lot of stuff.
It is a lot.
It's a lot
It's
of
a
stuff.
lot of information we're hammering you, and I don't know anything at all at the time.
Yeah. That's why, like, even in a game sometime when you're listening to the story and everyone's like, oh,
I still don't
You
know
missed it.
literally almost anything
Right?
from.
no. And somebody's like, I can't believe you missed that part of the story. I'm like, no, I was listening intently. It's a lot of lore. Man, what a nerd who watches 40K. Ricky!
But I mean, I feel like Bricky summarized pretty much the basics of the Space Marine factions and
What's
the
that
whole
said?
40K leading up into that.
You think he's stinky? What else? Tell us everything you feel.
I don't think I remember saying that.
Bricky, thank you so much for letting us watch the videos. We just watched the one where you talked about all the space legions. And by the way, great summary. I am very, very interested in learning more about some of the Primarchs and their armies. And we watched the one where you did the timeline. And I was actually asking everybody to kind of explain some parts of the timeline that I'm missing. Because I read a few of the books and I'm playing Mechanicus, so I'm just kind of trying to figure out the timeline.